Looming for the Nets after losing KD again.
Yes, sir. Trouble is looming. And fellas, I've learned this, I've heard this, that you are no, let me say it like this.
Good, you didn't hear that.
Let me say it like this. Rewind. Sal, you can teach me this joint. And people say you don't change once you get married, right? Like, if you're dating somebody, when they get married, they are still going to be exactly who they were while you all were dating. Like, they're not all of a sudden going to change into the better person that you always hoped that they would be. They are who you thought they were. If that stands and rings true, then I often wonder, are the Nets exactly who we think they are, and they're not going to change when they get to the playoffs? They are who we think they are. So who are they? An incredibly talented team with 3 bona fide superstars. But Kevin Durant, oft injured, played 25 games in the last 700 days. Kyrie Irving, incredibly aloof. And James Harden, he's just a stud. He's just a dude. But if the one superstar who you can depend on if you are the Brooklyn Nets, James Harden, if that's the one you can depend on, that's also the one who chokes in the playoffs.
Oh, don't do that.
Because that's the one who in 2015 in an elimination game went 2 for 11 from the field. That's the one who in 2017 in an elimination game went 2 for 11 from the field. That's the one in 2018 in an elimination game went 2 for 13 from 3 in a game where the Rockets missed 27 consecutive threes, a series they were up 3-2 and ended up losing. So, if the Brooklyn Nets are going to be in the playoffs, who they are in the regular season, that is great that you have 3 superstars. But one superstar in KD is not present because of injury. Another superstar in Kyrie is not present because of mental. And your other superstar who you actually can depend on has a propensity to disappear in the playoffs when it matters most. And for that reason, Nets fans have to be at least a little bit concerned.
Yeah, trouble is looming not only for the Nets, but I suspect for our friend Marcellus Wiley. But I'll allow him to present his own argument. We've been talking about it all year long when it comes to the Brooklyn Nets, how powerful those big 3 are offensively, and the question remaining, how good can they be defensively? Because to this point, they have not been very good. I keep hearing about how they're getting slowly better and they're rising up. They're still 19th overall in defensive efficiency. But look, I am an open-minded person. I am willing to accept that things can change. But here's the rub on that. The one guy among their 3 superstars who could change the formula and the equation when it comes to their defense is Kevin Durant. Because he's the one guy who has demonstrated that he can play championship-level defense. I'm going to play a little game of Did You Know with you right now. Did you know that Kevin Durant, in the 2 years that he won championships with the Golden State Warriors, was their best shot blocker? Did you know that in the 2 years that they won championships, he was either their first or their second best rebounder? You take him out of the equation. Oh, there is. I take that back. There's one more. Did you know that with LaMarcus Aldridge retiring, Kevin Durant is the best shot blocker, at least in terms of being prolific, on this Brooklyn Nets team? So if you want me to believe that the Brooklyn Nets are going to be a better defensive team when the playoff light goes on, then they have to have Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant's availability this year has been suspect all season long, and this is the latest evidence. So, yes, trouble is looming for the Nets. The question is, Marcellus, is it looming for you as well?
The hell show are we on? I know, speak for yourself, but this ain't NBA Live. Stop talking about all these X's and O's. Let me tell you about the I's and U's. Yes, I've trademarked that, so don't try and steal it. No, trouble's not looming for the Nets after losing KD again. Let me tell you why. One, let's just frame this properly. This ain't nothing but the new load management, y'all. Y'all getting suckered. These players are not as hurt as they're advertising. This is flopping in the training room, because we used to see a lot of flopping on the court. So in my day, I told Acho about this before, and I tell you, Slick Rick, when I didn't want to go get it in practice, not games, because we had too few games, but in practice, hamstring. You can't check that out and tell me that it doesn't hurt. back. Hello. Good luck with that one, too, coach and training staff. General soreness. Man, I'm just fatigued, coach. If KD would have got hurt in a playoff game with this thigh contusion, you know what he would have said? I'm good. But he knows the circumstances.
Don't do that.
Why would he want to go out there and fatigue himself in this moment right now? I'm going to tell you just like this.
I believe in that.
This is in response to the NBA clamping down on load management. Hey, we need y'all playing on nationally televised games. Hey, we need you guys always out there and no more of this load management. Players are creative. Players are smart. That's just my framework. So the old tendinitis of the yesterday's NBA, remember everybody had tendinitis? Nobody has it now. Only one person got tendinosis, and that's AD. And look how long AD been out with that tendinosis. Wink, wink. My point is, Kevin Durant, ain't nothing wrong with him. Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets, nothing wrong with them. Let me remind you also, since y'all want to have a little NBA live show, that there are teams in history that have missed their star player and still went out there and won a championship. Let's talk about those Bulls. Remember, 98? Pippen missed 35 games after off-season foot surgery. Didn't slow them down. 2012 Heat. Let's bring it a little more recent.
He reaches.
Chris Bosh missed 9 games in the playoffs. How'd that work out for him? Okay, 2020 Lakers. Rondo. And don't laugh at Rondo. 1, he's a Clipper now. But 2, that boy was important in the playoffs in the bubble. How'd that turn out when he missed those final 8 bubble games and then still showed up? The point is,
what's the point?
The Nets are winking at the NBA, and they're going to get the last laugh come playoff time. Trust.
Sal, you know why I don't eat meatloaf? I don't eat meatloaf because I don't know what's in it. People, when they make meatloaf, they start putting all types of random stuff in it, and they expect you to eat it.
You ain't never
That's what
lied.
you did with your argument.
No, it's
You
called
said,
gumbo.
I'm going to grab a little bit of this nonsense. I'm going to grab a little bit of that nonsense. I'm going to grab a little bit of that nonsense.
Pretty poetic.
I'm going to sprinkle this in it, sprinkle a little
What is
bit
that,
of
Salt Bae?
a pinch of intelligence,
Salt Bae.
and you expected me and Slick to be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Why not?
Slick, I'm as confused as you are.
It didn't even taste good.
It didn't taste good at all. I'm as confused as you are, Slick. So let me bring this back in, okay?
good to me, homie.
With the meal that's edible.
You eat your cornbread.
So,
What?
Let me tell you what KD's
What?
not going to do.
What he not gonna do?
If KD gets injured in the playoffs like he did against the Miami Heat, you want to know what Kevin Durant's not going to do? Rush back from the injury. Because you want to know what put Kevin Durant out for an entire season? Rushing back from an injury in the playoffs. So what we can all at least decide on, this 3 of us here sitting on the show, is that
Like that.
if KD were to get hurt, the one thing we all know he's not going to do is rush back from the injury. Furthermore, maximum amount of games it takes to win just 1 playoff series. Mind you, to win a championship, you have to win 4. But the maximum amount of games it takes to win just 1 playoff series is 7. Y'all want to know how many games the big 3 have played together? Kyrie, KD, and Harden?
What?
7. So it's going to take you 7 games to win 1 series. You got to win 4 to win a chip. And the big 3 have played just 7 together. And lastly, Sells, I look at it all. The Nets right now is the 2 seed. 7 seed is currently the Miami Heat, the same Miami Heat that just beat them, the same Miami Heat that were in the NBA Finals last year, the same Miami Heat that actually have a great, credible head coach, proven head coach who knows how to win games. We all talking this radical talk because it sounds great. But let these Nets run into the Heat round 1 and let Kyrie and KD keep acting up and acting out and getting hurt. Hey, it's not going to go like we all thought or like we even think.
Excellent point, Sato. You didn't take that Miami Heat point far enough, though. Because how did they just lose to the Miami Heat? They just lost to the Miami Heat by getting outscored 8-0 in the final 3.5 minutes. Now, this is supposedly a Nets team that when they want to play defense, they can ratchet it up and actually get it done. But what the Heat demonstrated is, no, you have to be able to do it, and you need to be able to do it at the right times when the game is on the line. They weren't able to do that. And look, Celis, this idea that you're going to compare them to the Lakers and the Bulls and all these teams that have actually done something together at some point and spent a great deal of time. You're going to compare Rajon Rondo to Kevin Durant in terms of the meaning to their particular teams. Or this Nets team to a Bulls team that had already won 5 championships before they got to that last year, and Scottie Pippen misses games because of injury. That, my friend, is false equivalence. You can't do that. The Nets need some games together to demonstrate that they have the synchronicity and the communication and the chemistry at the defensive end if I or anybody else is to believe that they're